Politics as usual. I took my
Alright, we good. We can't give Chuck no ammo.
Oh yeah,
no ammo on.
He gonna find something, man. Because I don't know how he found like that millisecond of me like making that face.
We're back.
Yeah.
Nah, Chuck is a damn terrorist. Shout outs to him though, because it's kind of funny. But I'm tired of all these memes of me looking crazy. Chuck out here doing supercuts and shit. Wait till you get your own show, Chuck. Just wait. It's funny. I got mad incriminating memes of Chuck in my phone because we're friends on Facebook. And he be posting like different like goofy shit with him and his girl on Facebook that he will on Twitter. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna start posting them, man.
We got you.
Cause Chuck, you out here wilding.
We got you.
You out here wilding. The one with me with my tongue out, I'm not gonna make the face because you just gonna do another fucking screenshot.
That was
or the one with me pointing, doing that. Nah, fam, nah. You gotta stop. You gotta relax. You wilding.
Are you drunk? No. I ain't drunk.
And we're back. 30 for 30 on that's gonna be fucking. He's got just mad video clips. Hey YouTube, I need you to make it to where people can't rip video clips. Cause Chuck is wild and Chuck got way too much ammo on us. I got to go on Chuck's podcast and make him look silly.
Yeah, we got to.
Shout outs to them coins to continue. Him and his lovely host Katie. They are wonderful people. We're completely joking, but our boy Chuck, the CSJR, who is the underscore CSJR, who is a video game journalist and freelance author.
Has to be the best job ever. Right?
Yeah. Like, he used to go to conventions and shit, play video. He had like a Nintendo Switch before they were like really out. Yeah. For his job to just play them. Yeah, awesome job. But he's cool people. He makes memes of us whenever we look crazy. Like he'll take like a split second of us making a face and turn it into a whole meme on Twitter. So we're gonna live up to the first part of our the first word in our show's name, and now discuss the wonderful world of politics. You're gonna drink on this one?
Yes. Where do we begin?
Well, number one, we touched on this in the first episode when we talked about the shutdown and TSA and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, and I told people Roger Stone they were coming for him, so I'm glad I was right on that.
But we had some big things drop. Today, the government is temporarily reopened, even though I've told people while this is a win for Pelosi and the Democrats right now, Trump, we can be right back here in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and we will be, but he gotta take this L right now, though.
Yeah, right now he gotta take this L. We gonna celebrate this win. But Kamala Harris announced that she was running officially for the presidency in 2020. Julian Castro, I believe, announced his presidency. Right. If you don't know who Julian Castro is, he was the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. A lot of people were excited about him. He's in that younger Beto group. So yeah, we had all that going on. Where we gonna begin this?
What's the game plan for? Okay, you have all these files, all these pictures on the table, and you're just reading through them. What's the game plan for picking your person? What's your process?
So we gonna go with who I would want and who I think has the best chance of winning. So we'll start with because I don't know who I want necessarily yet, because I haven't had a chance to do my due diligence on reading up on the candidates. I can say I like what Beto did. Beto. I like what he did.
Robert O'Rourke.
Yeah, Mr. O'Rourke. I liked what he did. I like what I saw from Gillum and Abrams in their gubernatorial races. But I can't say who I really want yet. Mm-hmm. Our best case scenario, and I know he authored the crime bill. He's got some video clips of him being touchy-feely with women.
Anita Hill.
The Anita Hill thing.
Yeah.
But if you want the best chance of winning, and I'm not talking about for getting the black vote or getting the far-right vote, I'm talking about those middling white people. We know Donald Trump is one thing. He is a fiery white man. And the one area where Hillary could not get him was matching that fire, simply because as a woman, if she showed the slightest hint of emotion, the media was going to turn that against her, right or wrong.
Yeah, and that's right what they did. Yeah.
Hillary had to remain calm and relatively demure in the face of Donald's bullshit. So if you want to counteract that, you need equally an old, fiery white man. And I'm afraid the best chance of winning is Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. I don't want Joe Biden. Let me make it very clear. I do not want Joe Biden to win the primary. But the best chance for the Democrats to win and get those middle voters is probably Joe Biden.
Is it a double white man, or can it be a white man, vice president, Spanish? I don't think we could go anything less. Can we have a female vice president?
The ticket that I'm seeing, the ticket I'm seeing most people say is Biden and Beto O'Rourke, Robert O'Rourke. That's the ticket I'm seeing the most. O'Rourke.
Yeah,
He's
the guy
dude who almost beat Ted Cruz in Texas for
like
the
by
Senate.
like a margin.
Yeah, like he barely lost. That's they're saying Biden.
So we're saying definitely a double white man.
Pretty much. But
I think so too. I think that's what we've got to have in order to compete.
It's sad to say, but yeah, at this moment you need the right white guy. And that sounds so weird coming out my mouth.
We've got to get back to what's called the standard in America.
Yeah,
right. For right now, because I think a lot of people thought Barack Obama was a change when it was really just a stay of execution. Yes. It was more of just, this is a stopgap. It's gonna get worse after this. And I think if you want to,
we didn't get anything out of the deal, and it only created us a bigger problem.
I wouldn't say we didn't get anything. It's just that black people exclusively didn't get anything. He did a lot of he did a lot of stuff for poorer people, which helped black people as a whole. But he didn't
exclusively.
Right. And here's the thing I will say with Barack Obama. I don't count myself as an Obama hater, but I look at Barack Obama for what he is. He is a black person who was raised by white people. So when Barack Obama looks at white people, he sees his grandparents who probably had a problem with black people but were able to love him. So he looks at these white people and thinks they can be better. So he ain't never gonna be the fiery militant black dude. But if he was that fiery militant black dude, he'd have never got elected.
That's right.
So you have to take the gift with the curse. A lot of people said, "Man, wait till Barack's a lame duck president. We gonna see who he really is," and he never did that. And then it was like, well, wait till he gets out of office. He gonna start talking more, and he ain't started talking.
What's my? I can't believe I forgot his name. What's my man who sings "A Lovely Day"? Bill Withers.
Yeah,
Bill Withers said he had a conversation with Barack once. Said an opposing senator just flat out like called him a word to his face, and he was just like, okay. And then he was like, man, why ain't you saying nothing like that? And then he was like, at the moment he realized Barack had the gift of ignorance, and that sounds crazy, but basically Barack thinks no matter how bad you are, there's something good in you and everybody. That kind of made him special. That makes him who he is. But at the same time,
the only way he could have became.
But at the same time, that's what made his first term so rocky because they flat out like opposed him in every single thing he tried to do.
He never gave any attention. If you think back to it, this president here has gotten us to the point where we almost feel that we can write something and he would respond to it. Barack Obama never responded to the everyday. He really kept everything what's called presidential.
Right. And it's the gift and the curse with him. I don't blame him for being that way because if I was raised by his grandparents were white people from Kansas, we can probably assume that they weren't fond of black people. I'm not gonna say they're racist. We can probably assume they weren't fond of black people.
Or had a lack of exposure.
Yeah, he said in so many words his grandmother was kind of like at first. So,
right. So if he probably looks at them and think, well, they could love me, so they can love us all. We can all, and that's okay. That's totally cool. I say all that to say, at this point, I just want Trump out the office.
Yeah.
Now, me and Ronnie talked about this before.
We talked about this off camera, and we might as well get into it.
I have one hard no.
I have one hard no.
I have one hard no on the Democrats. One hard no. Kamala Harris. And I know you all are thinking, she's a black woman.
Which I just found out her name is Kamala Harris.
Or Kamala Harris.
Yeah, she beautiful woman.
We won't get into that. We won't get into that.
She caked up.
Now, initially, a lot of people ran with a certain narrative. I won't say it on here, out of respect for where we're doing this. A lot of people said this narrative, and I said, I ain't rolling there yet.
Yeah.
However, I stumbled upon a thread, which detailed a lot of the decisions that were made under her watch as a district attorney and attorney general of the state of California. Ryan, our boy Ryan, Eagle Eye 1906, shout out to him. Him and his wonderful family, by the way, who are going through a tough time. Send them some prayers. By the way, we won't go into that on here, but send them some prayers. Awesome family, awesome group of people. Ryan said, I think she suffers from a lack of assertiveness. And I might could agree with that, but at some point your lack of assertiveness becomes a pattern. And I have to attribute your lack of assertiveness to being you just didn't care about black people, marginalized communities in general under your watch. So for me, Kamala Harris is dangerous because she is a black person and she is largely on the side of people that are relatively dangerous to black people. So she's a hard no for me.
There's one hypothesis that was thrown out that I can actually somewhat agree with, but at the same time, it shows that this candidate doesn't stand out enough to probably be president. Basically, black woman, you got to be tough. You got to be a part of the good old boys club. So that's someone tried to surmise that was the logic behind a lot of her decisions. But at the same time, if you're not strong enough to break away from that and just do what you know is right, then, and like AJ said, there's a certain narrative right now that I won't echo. I won't say I don't agree with it, but I don't agree with the intensity in which it's being thrown around. And because of the state of where we are right now, I'll never publicly bash a Democratic candidate. I will bash Bernie Sanders because he's not a Democrat. So
yeah, he's an independent.
Yeah, we could get into that later. But basically, while she's not my person, like she might be even like at the bottom of the list. She's not my person, but at the same time, like I get it. So,
I'm going to say this, and every vote matters. Don't get it twisted.
And
I would have if she won the nom,
and this
I would have a very hard time in good conscience going to vote for her.
I would not
because the way that people thought that Hillary versus Trump was the lesser of two evils, Kamala versus Trump to me is really the lesser two evils. Because one is an outright racist and the other has been an outright ally of people who mean no good to black people. So to me, Kamala is really the lesser of two evils, and I would have a really hard time voting if she was.
I wouldn't have a hard time at all.
A really hard time. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to say it. I would have a really hard time doing it.
I wouldn't lose sleep over
really hard time doing it. I would. Because to me, ain't her husband?
Yeah.
See that? Yeah.
There's something else about that, but that we're not.
I'm simply stating. I'm not going to accuse her of pandering the way some have. I do
because that's asinine as well.
Yeah, I don't believe that she is some. Because a lot of people try to say her parents are foreign. No.
That's stupid.
Kamala Harris is a black woman. She's a black woman, 100%. I will not take that away from her. But all skin folk ain't your kinfolk, and I truly believe she ain't kinfolk.
And here's the thing, like I feel like
that's just where I'm going with it.
And to piggyback off that, I feel like we're in a space where we can't properly vet or criticize or point out or even talk about policy with these candidates because people are sensationalizing things. They did the same thing with Hillary.
Yes.
Possibly the most qualified candidate ever. But because she was married
and
to a man.
And lost to the least qualified candidate ever. Like that's crazy.
So we can't even talk about policy because we're too busy being like sensationalizing this stuff.
But see, on the other side of that, the biggest beef I have with people is people acting like we can't critique what she's doing because it somehow is a No,
we totally can. It's a strike on the record.
We need to vet every single candidate so that we get the strongest one out there. Maybe if we had vetted every single candidate, maybe the Hillary and that's a whole super delegate conversation that we might need to have about the Democratic primary system.
No, because I actually I know that take you're about to say, and I actually disagree with it.
Well, no, I'm not talking about Hillary Bernie. I'm talking about to get the strongest candidate out there for the Dems in general.
Okay.
I'm talking about in general, we need to have that conversation where we can get the strongest candidate and not just the one that is able to buy the most votes. That is where I'm going with that. Now, Ryan brought up a good point earlier. He said AOC is probably prepping for a 2020.
I totally agree.
And I personally would love to see that because AOC is everything white people fear.
Yeah.
She is a spicy New York lady who will not hold her tongue.
The brand is strong.
She is everything the GOP fears and everything the Democrats need. I want to see it so bad. Because she ain't holding her tongue about nothing. She's on Twitter talking that shit. And I think Ryan said something like, because she's what, 28, 29?
You're 29, yeah.
So the earliest she can run is, earliest she can run is 2024. Because she can't be until she's 35.
Yeah.
So the earliest she could be sworn in is when she's 35.
Can we get a shout out? You're at 2200 2nd Avenue North.
2200 2nd Avenue North. Trim Salon and
Good people.
2200trim.com. Book yourself a cup.
2200trim.com.
We was gonna throw that. We throw that in there on every episode.
Well, I just hadn't heard.
We throw that in on every episode.
Good to know you're listening though.
Every single episode we throw that in. But I would have a hard time with Kamala. On to other things. Roger Stone got indicted or arrested or something today.
Big things happening.
A lot of people have said that the only reason that the government is back open is because Trump wanted to throw some smoke off of this trail.
Yes.
And it seems like I truly do not.
Why of all days would he take that deal? Why of all days?
Because it's the same deal that was offered 35 days ago.
The same deal that was offered 35 days ago.
The exact same deal. Nothing changed.
All for naught. Like, why did he say, okay, today is a day?
So here's my thing. I do not believe Trump will be impeached nor indicted while he is in office. I do believe that the minute he steps out of office, he is going to jail for the rest of his life. I fully believe that.
Because at first I was like, but now with Roger Stone and now WikiLeaks side into this, he is being mentioned by name.
By name now. I don't think that the Senate cannot flip enough for, because what do you need, 60 votes to get an impeachment?
Yeah.
To remove the president?
Yeah.
We're not getting that. Because we have what, 43 Dems? So we need 17 Republicans to switch sides, and we ain't getting that.
Not happening.
That's not happening. But when he gets out of, when that man gets out of office, unless he declares himself an emperor after this next round of negotiations go, because let me tell y'all, I'm being 100% serious here.
If he wins his next election, just
No, I'm not talking about the next election. I'm being 100% serious. If he declares a national emergency to get around Congress, go watch V for Vendetta. Go watch Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. We are looking at it.
Watch that? No, I know what you're getting at, but don't watch those. Don't watch those.
Watch Attack of the Clones simply because
I know
there was a state of emergency declared for the chancellor to assume powers to become the emperor. That was a very important step in a dictatorship being established from a republic.
Can I throw a piece of trivia that has nothing to do with anything? Okay, there was a writing group, Brian De Palma, George Lucas, who else? Coppola.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah. So they wanted to write a movie about the Vietnam War from the Viet Cong point of view. You know where I'm going with this, right? Or do you?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay, so yeah, they wanted to write a movie about the Vietnam War from the Viet Cong point of view, framing the Viet Cong as the good people and the Americans as the bad people. Okay, I think Lucas was going to take on Apocalypse Now, but it ended up going to Coppola. Coppola, switched it around, and that's the movie we got now. But Lucas's movie became
Star Wars.
Yeah, so basically, Star Wars, Apocalypse Now, kind of the same movie. As you know, the Resistance, the Viet Cong, they're fighting the Empire, which is
America.
There you go.
Yeah.
Useless trivia for you.
Yeah. Well, actually, there was this and actually we were talking about one of my old coworkers earlier, Kevin, who actually passed away. God rest his soul. I won't say what the story was about, but we were talking about him earlier, and he actually let me know that Star Wars was actually based on this old Japanese samurai movie. Where George Lucas basically just ripped the entire plot in space. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, it's in black and white. And the Force.
We can Google.
Yeah, the Force is actually very prominent in that movie. I can't think of the name, but it's a Japanese movie in black and white. They use the Force heavily. So yeah. So yeah, the kids wear crowns.com. We have t-shirts and we have.
Why is this not showing up?
We have to pay bills somehow.
I legit just Googled this and nothing is coming.
But no, it exists. We're not crazy.
Hold on, Star. I clicked on
because I think Lucas saw this in film school. So Yeah, if I remember correctly.
I clicked the wrong thing.
It's a Japanese art house, black and white movie.
Hidden Fortress.
Yeah.
Hidden Fortress.
Hidden Fortress, yeah.
Where I believe the protagonist is trying to rescue his brother, and in which they changed the brother to a princess, being Princess Leia, even though they weren't revealed as siblings at the time. And that is basically where the premise of Star Wars came from, which is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like 30 years later, people didn't like be like, "Hey, you stole this movie." But yeah, that got off on a tangent. But beware Donald Trump using emergency powers to bypass Congress, because what we have seen is, I know we all love Barack, but Barack said during his election, during his campaign, that he would walk back the use of executive orders, and when he found that he was getting stonewalled by Congress, he began to use executive orders. He did.
He did. No, I'm not saying you're wrong.
It was for our benefit, but he did. So assume the best case scenario of this is Donald Trump begins to use national emergencies to bypass Congress, and out of that we get a Democratic president who does the same. But the point is, the presidential powers that have been expanded since the time of the Patriot Act and 9/11 have not been walked back, and it's highly possible that they never will be. So Ronnie and I have been in an argument since Donald Trump got into the office that we need to divest or divide the powers of the president into multiple bodies.
I would say we need to change the Constitution, as in amend it, right?
No. I think we need to write an entirely new Constitution, because checks and balances are useless at this point.
And I pose the same question to you: if you don't have enough faith,
secede. If the entire West Coast seceded, it would happen. California, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Colorado. Those are 5 of the biggest economies in the country. If they all secede, what happens? If they all secede and say, we are not coming back until we rewrite the Constitution and we divide the power of the presidency into 3 bodies, what happens?
Bleeding Kansas. I don't know.
What happens? Tell me what happens.
I mean, I don't feel like it would happen, but to entertain.
California seceding is the closest we have to happen.
Yeah, now that could happen. Now that could happen.
In an extreme dictatorship scenario, you have out there a block of solidly blue states. Nevada's probably the closest to purple you'll get. You can throw New Mexico in there, it's pretty much blue. You have a block of solidly blue states, 2 of the biggest weed economies and the single state biggest economy in our country.
The film industry.
If they all just said, we out, we are seceding. Now, let's add in probably the best country to live in on the planet, Germany, throwing their muscle behind it. China throwing their muscle behind it. What happens next? Same way the French threw their muscle behind us in the Revolutionary War. What happens next?
Yeah.
I'm just asking, what happens next? The United States has to come back, because there is not a single state economy. All of the states' economies put together could not make up for the loss of California, let alone the loss of the weed economies in Washington and Colorado. You could not make up for it one bit.
Secede.
And Canada throws their weight behind them, because they're already here.
They're just ratifying an entirely new Constitution.
They say we're not coming back unless we ratify an entirely new Constitution that prevents a dictatorship from ever taking over.
Too much dip on your chip, bro.
That's not too much dip on my chip.
Too much.
Ronnie, I didn't say it was probable. I said it was possible.
Two
completely different things.
Okay.
I didn't say it was probable.
Because you know my mind works on logic.
My mind works on logic as well. I'm not talking about probable. I'm saying what's
the numbers
possible.
are just going through my head. I was like, oh no, man.
California seceding is the most likely one you will get.
Yeah, now that because people in California have entertained it, so that's not.
I could easily see Washington doing so, and with Oregon sandwiched between them, I can see Oregon going, yeah, we rolling with y'all. And I can see Colorado going, we rolling with y'all. And I can see Hawaii going, we rolling with y'all. Now what? Canada says, we got y'all back. Don't worry about military intervention. We got y'all. Germany says, we got y'all. China says, we got y'all, because we're in the midst of a trade war with them. Then what? All I'm asking is, then what? Mexico says, we got y'all. Then what? All I'm asking is, then what?
Yeah.
I'm saying it's a chain reaction of events that could lead, because my honest opinion is we don't need a president, we need a 3 presidential panel.
And that's where I vehemently disagree.
You disagree for the need for war powers.
You, I, and D can never agree on anything. Just imagine us around the country.
You, I, and D are 3 different people. What I'm talking about, we don't have 3 different parties in this country.
Well, that's the bigger issue. I feel like we honestly have 4 parties in this country, but nobody wants to realize it.
Okay, that is definitely true. What I'm saying with 3 is you ain't ever gonna come to, on a yes or no decision, you gonna get a solid yes or no majority every time. That is where I disagree, because there aren't 3 options in should we go to war. It's yes or no. It's yes or no. Because you worry about, in a time of crisis, we need a commander in chief. But if there's 3 people...
To say it eloquently, that's too many cooks in the kitchen for me.
For me, it's not. Because this is the worst case scenario for America.
Well, yes, it is.
And it's here. So when you have a worst case scenario, you have to prevent a worst case scenario.
Then you build a failsafe.
Let's pause. This is the most... I don't think a failsafe word, but let's pause. This is the most white interaction.
I don't know what's going on.
Like, we've had like 8 white people wave to us this episode.
Like, it's more than 8. It's like
normally somebody almost dies because the car almost drives down this one way. We haven't had that happen in a couple episodes, but now we have all these white people waving at us, and we're not even like a
what do you call a group of white people? Like a school of white people?
A gaggle?
Yeah, a gaggle. One white person short of a murder. Just walk by.
Like, normally we wave to them just to get them to notice the logo, but like they've been waving at us.
Yeah.
Like the past 3 groups have been like that little curly haired chick. She was cute. I almost walked out here and said something to her, but we recorded. So I'm trying to be professional. But but I say that to say, what was the point you were making? My point was 3 people is a perfect number.
Oh no,
a tribunal.
No. Because, I knew what I was going to say. I was about to say, you don't know what exploits you have until they're exploited.
Okay, so
no. So,
because you said you were saying we need a failsafe. That's what you were saying.
Because what I was saying, because we had this discussion offline. So what I was saying is the thing
we've been having this discussion for almost 2 years.
The things with the presidency that are just customary, make them mandatory. The powers that are being currently abused as a result of 9/11, like you mentioned, reel those back a bit.
So here's my issue.
And into that, I tie in term limits for senators. I tie in all of that. Well,
if you want a super duper hot take, we need 1 6-year term for president, and that's it. Because when you think about it, the most you're going to get out of a president is 4 functional years.
Yeah.
And a 6-year term limit will give you 4 functional years of president.
Because
the first 2 terms, they spend not be able to do anything.
I was about to say, you spend 2 years on each end just being a lame duck, pretty much.
The first 2 years, unless you have a majority for your party, you can't get shit done. You spend the next 2 years trying to get reelected. The first 2 years, you could try to get something done again, and then the last 2 years, you're a lame duck. So essentially, we need 1 6-year term because we could get basically 3.5 years.
Think about it, we're almost through Trump's term, and that's crazy to imagine.
Yeah. 1 6-year term for me would do it. But
we actually agree. I actually agree with that. That's a good take.
But for me, what I would say is finding the human being to run for president that would willingly allow the executive branch to be walked back, I don't think exists at this moment. And the one guy who I think would have done it didn't do it. And he did it for our benefit, the ACA, all those things.
Yeah.
But he had to use those powers, and now Trump is... So what I'm saying is even the best of us can fall victim to that because they see something good needing to be done, and they use the bad powers given to them as a result. So that is why I say what you are suggesting would work. My question is, who's the person to do it? Well, because you think RBG dies and we had a 6-3 Supreme Court majority for the next 20 years.
You're right.
So who's the person to walk that back? The ultimate check on the presidency is the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ain't finna be Democrat no time soon.
Definitely not.
So at this point, the states are going to have to fight these battles. So someone brought up a good point. What happens if a state just says, we don't care? Like right now...
kind of like Alabama with your Medicaid and let all the the hospitals close when they're like, hey, take this free money. And Robert Bentley was like, no, I'm cool. I'm just going to let hospital close and babies die. It's all
and a good example of this North Carolina Supreme Court justice is retiring. So North Carolina's Supreme Court, another random white way.
Yeah,
North Carolina Supreme Court is about to be a 6-1 Democratic majority. They can go ahead and dare the Supreme Court to say we're not reversing Roe v. Wade in this state. Do your worst. What can they do? Because see, this is an interesting point. Me and someone on Twitter got into this argument because he was saying that, you know, police and the FBI, all that, they're ultimately the judicial branch. And I said, no, they're not. They're the executive branch. The judicial branch has no power without the executive branch.
Yeah.
If the judicial branch decrees something and the executive branch refuses to enforce it, the executive branch has the manpower to actually do something about it.
That's true, yeah.
A mayor can order the police to action. A governor can order something to action. The president can order the FBI to action. What can the courts do? Say that something's not constitutional?
Yeah, either uphold it or not, yeah.
So, anyway, that was off on a complete tangent. But I say all that to say, Ronnie and I will never agree on this, but AJ's perfect constitution is a 3-body executive branch at which all parties have equal power. If you want to divide the country up by thirds and have them elected that way, because I personally think that would be great. Because
this sounds real article-y, man.
So hold on. Here's why I think this sounds great. Because if you had the West, the Midwest, and the East Coast, so there ought to be 2 Democratic executive board members. That works great for us. Because New York and Cali are going to take care of the East and West Coast by themselves. The Midwest would never have enough to elect a representative. 2 representatives.
But yeah.
I say that to say Trump is the worst case scenario. Or, and this is actually one Ronnie's agreed upon, although I personally, I think this will be great, but I don't think it will work great for our day-to-day lives. If every living president could come together and say, we unanimously declare that this person is unfit to be president.
Now that I agree with. Because it makes sense, right? I mean,
who's alive? Carter, Obama, Bush, Clinton. If those 4 came together and said,
and HW is still alive because evil never dies.
Come on, man.
My bad.
But even before HW died, I think all 5 of them would have said Donald Trump isn't fit to be president.
Yeah.
If they had come together and said he's not fit to be president and he had to automatically be ousted, him and his VP had to automatically be ousted, I think that would have happened.
Which is one would call a failsafe, right? For like a tribunal or whatever you want to call it, or former president to say, hey, like, collectively we have the power to just override this and say, hey, we served as president. We know what it takes. This guy don't got it. And only in special cases like this, like when this guy should be clearly...
That's why I said it would have to be because right now you have 3 former Democratic living presidents and 1 former Republican. The Democrats would have a majority.
But yeah, like you said, it has to be unanimous because in this case, even the Republican will say like, hey, this guy ain't it.
Yeah, I agree with that, but like I said, for me, I've seen enough of this to know that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And what was set in place by Dick Cheney, George W. Bush, Rummy, and all of their little pals was enough to state that this guy being elected at this time was the worst case scenario for America. And we got to have a gut check because for all this American exceptionalism, we've shown that ain't shit.
It's not. America sucks. It sucks.
We suck.
It sucks.
We suck. And that's okay to say.
Let's be real. America sucks.
America's trash. We're trash.
And to quote my man James Baldwin, I love America. That's why I criticize her. So yeah.
Listen, I would happily take my ass to Germany right now if I could find a job. You know they give motherfuckers a 1-year leave if you have a child. You get 1 year paid leave from your job.
Free college.
Could you imagine knocking somebody up and getting a year off to raise the kid? Paid? Like not like 60% of your pay. 100% of your pay for 12 months. I'd be constantly having kids.
Like somebody fact check me on this, but I feel like in Germany there are like 13 grades, so you only have to go to college for like 2 years. Somebody fact check me on this.
It might be. What I know is Germany and Ghana is giving niggas full citizenship if you want to move over there. Your boy declared a national emergency and might be the last you see of me. I might be over here wilding and escape to Ghana. and never
Say
pay
he
student
becomes,
loans again.
Under martial law, he becomes all but a dictator.
Yep.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
And you want to know what trips me out? All of these Second Amendment people saying I got my gun just in case the government comes calling.
Fuck you gonna do against a drone?
But now, guess what? He's coming to take your land, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, congrats.
Fuck you finna do against a drone? Fuck you finna do against a laser guided missile?
So thanks for voting for
Nothing.
him. Good job.
You might be able to shoot it and get it to explode before it hits you directly.
Because
But
guess what? There's a big ass river that goes through Mexico and America named Big Ass River. We can't put a wall through there. So guess what? The wall has to go through land, which means it's your land, which means they will knock down your house to put that wall.
All this because y'all mad at Hispanic people taking jobs that y'all don't want. All you rural America motherfuckers who too scared of technology, but y'all want these fucking menial labor ass jobs back. Y'all ain't finna go cleaning restrooms or doing the hard work of farming that these Hispanic and Latino people do. Y'all full of shit.
It trips me out that people are saying that this is our land, but we literally got states named Red Rock in Spanish, New Mexico, Arizona.
Wait, what state is named Red Rock?
Colorado.
That's Red Rock? I thought Roja was red.
Well, the Rado part it means like red. Well, maybe there's some Indian in there, because
maybe it means colored rock.
Yeah, whatever. You know
Well,
what
I mean, I was just asking. No, I was legitimately
I know it's Rojo. Yeah, Rojo.
You got fucking Tallahassee, Tallapoosa,
Yeah.
Coosa, all these goddamn Native American ass names. And speaking of which, man, I ain't even gonna get into that whole Native American story. But shout out to what was his name, Nathan Peters.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nathan
Phillips.
Shout out to Nathan Phillips. And fuck the Covington High School kids.
That kid isn't even worth mentioning, and
These little sacks of shit.
yeah. I think we need to wrap up.
We good.
I
was just mad at that.
Yeah.
They want to talk about, they're kids, they made mistakes, and then New York Times want to post that Nathan Phillips was busted for drinking when he was 19. Like y'all wasn't drinking when y'all was 19. I wasn't, but y'all was.
Yeah, I wasn't. No, I really wasn't.
You didn't have are you like me? You had your first drink at 21?
No, I had my first drink at it was like going into 20, I think. Yeah, I didn't.
Oh no, I had my first drink. Actually, it was after midnight, the day after my 21st birthday.
Yeah, dude, I was like on the straight path, man.
I mean, my family's full of alcoholics. Like almost everybody drank before they was 21, but me.
Well, I'm from the country. Everybody drinks when they're 6, but I chose not to live that life. I'm being serious, man.
I mean, I believe you.
I mean, I drink now, obviously, but I just felt some doubt right now. Charles is gonna use that face. Just to let you know.
Shout outs to Chuck. Shout outs to Coins to Continue. Who else we need shout out? Shout outs to B Will.
Yeah.
B Will McPherson. The most washed person on the planet.
Just shout out to everybody.
Who also looks like a black Adam Silver.
No, he really does.
That's my guy. That's my guy, though.
Shout out to everybody just supporting the blog in general, man. We've been putting up big numbers lately.
We have.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to me finally putting it on Facebook, even though I've been telling you to put it on Facebook.
You could have.
You don't want to control the video. I control the audio.
All right, man.
I'm just. Am I not wrong?
Is the video on the Trim Grooming Lounge page?
I send it to Reach. Now that I have Reach's number, I send it to Reach. So I don't know if it's on there or not. But I sent him the video. Speaking of which, we do need to organize these videos in the playlist on them. So I can just send people the playlist link. We need to make a playlist on YouTube.
Okay.
So I can send people the playlist. All right. Because every time I try to log in, it be sending codes and it goes to your phone.
I feel like
I'm too lazy for that.
I feel like you should have a little recovery, but I'll fix that too.
Nigga, the recovery shit is yours.
Yeah, we talking shit. You can have multiple recovery numbers, man.
Well, then add me then, nigga.
All right.
Shit, damn.
Yeah, sorry for talking shit off the camera. Hey,
KidsWearCrowns.com. We got some good posts up. The Two Dope Smart podcast is doing real great.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the wrestling people out there.
Yeah, those guys hit the ground running. I really like that content. So shout out to them.
They have actually been adding hits to the site, which is more than I can say for some of our other podcasts. But that's a conversation for another day. I just posted some Young Justice updates. If you haven't been watching Young Justice, I've got four posts on the first 13 episodes of the season. They won't be back until June. But I got those episodes up so you can watch and read along. Ronnie's, what have you been posting about?
True Detective.
True Detective.
Black Monday, which is the best.
Oh yeah, you and D been doing a podcast
Yeah.
series on that.
Yeah. Black Monday, which is the best pilot episode of a sitcom I've seen in a long time.
Isn't Don Cheadle in that?
Yes.
I fuck with
Don
Don
Cheadle is in there doing coke for 30 minutes and it's amazing.
I might have to watch that.
No, it's the first episode is on YouTube. Watch it. It's crazy.
All right, I gotta watch
Don
that.
Cheadle,
Don Cheadle with
Regina Hall. That's all you need to know. That's the selling point.
If you wait. Regina Hall was Malibu's Most Wanted, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, look, listen. You ain't never gonna see this, but Regina Hall. Listen, man.
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever. I will stop whatever I'm doing to meet you.
I've loved Regina Hall for a long time.
Somebody come to the door, let me know when they walk up. They should knock on them.
All right. Yeah. I'm convinced Regina Hall has.
She's amazing.
Like, there's been a theory on Twitter for a long time that Halle Berry's is terrible because of all the dudes that have left her, but we ain't never heard nothing about anybody that's messed with Regina. Because
Regina Hall,
I got a feeling Regina Hall
just sucks your soul. That's why.
Regina Hall, holla at your boy.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. I don't care.
Got snubbed for support the girl. She should have had an Oscar nomination.
Exactly.
For that too.
So yeah, we're doing. If you don't have DC Universe, catch it. I'm gonna put a post up of Reign of the Superman when that drops on DC Universe.
I'm gonna bootleg that.
I mean, I'm watching on DC Universe because it's only $8.
Give me a login.
You only get one login at a time, man. I don't want to log in and watch Young Justice and you sitting up here.
I'm gonna watch it when you're not watching it.
I don't know that.
Rip it and then send it to me.
Well, look, we ain't about to discuss illegalities.
All right, man. It's immoral, not illegal.
Immoralities on the.
Yeah.
I mean, it's technically illegal because it's piracy.
Well, yeah.
But if you haven't watched that, check it out. I'm about to drop my how I would change the NBA post. I'm gonna try to do that soon because I'm almost done with my coding boot camp finally.
Look at you churning out posts this year.
I mean, I've been doing my thing.
Yeah.
You see what happens when I don't have to do schoolwork and shit? I told you.
See what happens when I don't have 3 jobs? Yeah.
Well, that too. Also because I'm hopelessly single. I remember once upon a time, it was either D or Joe or Ryan was talking about doing it for the love of AJ, and I was like, that would be so terrible because I'm such an ornery person.
Yeah.
Like I'm so picky and mean and blunt. It might have entertainment value for that.
I was about to say that might make a good team.
But I don't want to subject any women to that because I'm such a ornery person. But anyways, thekidswearcrowns.com. Find the link. Get yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie because it looks like we might get a little bit more cold weather over the next few weeks.
Oh yeah.
Kemba Walker made the All-Star. Charlotte Hornets. Shout it out.
I mean, somebody had to make the All-Star in the
He's
East.
a starter.
Somebody had
Victor Oladipo's out there.
Oh man,
come on, fam.
I feel so bad for Vic, man.
Shout out to Victor Oladipo. Get better.
Shout out to Vic, man.
Get better, man. I almost kind of want to go up there. I gotta hit up one of my Charlotte homies to see if I got somewhere to sleep. I almost kind of just want to be in the city for that.
Yeah.
Kidswearcrowns.com, 2200trim.com. Also from our last episode, strivebhm.com. If you are struggling with mental health or just want a better handle on your own mental well-being, hit up Crystal Mullen Johnson for her services.
Fellow Demopolis native, see the other people.
Fellow Demopolis native. We'll be back. Hopefully Ronnie puts this one on Facebook.
I will. Going forward because
we had like triple the views on Facebook as we did on YouTube.
Who would have thunk?
I would have thunk.
Facebook is fun too, so
I agree, but aunties will watch our videos.
You're right.
Our aunties will watch and share all of our videos.
Mama. Yeah.
Hey mom, shout outs to my mom. Shout outs to my homie in Dallas. I also got to shout out the former co-host of my long gone podcast, This Rounds on Us, Anthony. He was on radio this week shouting us out. That's why we had all those This Rounds on Us posts. He's auditioning for a reoccurring radio host gig.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, shout outs to him.
Right,
shout outs to Ant. He's out here doing it big. We should be back in because 2 weeks we got the Club Monster show on February the 8th, I think it is.
I think so.
Let me double check that so we can give people.
We'll be there, so come through.
My only issue with I gotta see if that's BYOB because
it is. It is
because I'm gonna have to bring a bottle through there. Club Monster
I have to put some in my boots.
Club Monster is performing at the Firehouse in Avondale, 412 41st Street South, February 8th. Performances start at 8, so that means it's 7:47 now. So we'll be getting out of here and going straight over there to ride with them. But support Club Monster because they finna be performing, doing their thing. And I think Basshead Jazz has performances in Birmingham this month.
Let me tell you, man. When we went to
Secret Stages.
Yeah, I was about to say Sidewalk. Secret Stages. Basshead Jazz put on one of the craziest performances I've seen.
I was not expecting that.
Because I've messed with he goes by Foster now. I've messed with Foster for a while, and they had baby Ellie, and I've never seen her before, and
she fine.
Yeah,
she fine.
Yeah,
shout out to her.
She is.
Shout out to her.
But yeah, when they came, because I didn't know what to expect, so when they came on, man, that was the craziest performance I've seen. I don't know when. Hey.
But yeah, no. That performance was absolutely nuts. That performance was absolutely
crazy,
nuts.
Man.
It was crazy. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of dope stuff going on in Birmingham. For all the people who complain that there's nothing to do in Birmingham, I lived here for 10 years.
Just go look for it.
Plenty of shit to do in Birmingham. But yeah, definitely catch us out because we're gonna be out there supporting them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else coming up? But yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks because we'll be there doing that. I want to see if we can. We'll have to contact Josh and see if we can't get him, Kel, or Dot on before that show.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do that.
Just to kind of talk some shit for a few minutes before. I gotta reach out to what's his face too, Chris Style. Oh yeah, I gotta reach out to him.
Shout out to Chris Style, man.
Shout out to Chris Style.
We heard some songs, by the way. Marcus.
Bama's. I really like playing on Marcus. I gotta do a post on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout outs to them. But yeah, it's been a it's been a good last year or so for the Birmingham music scene for people who, like I said, love to claim there's nothing to do. There's plenty of shit to do in Birmingham.
Plenty to do.
All you gotta do is step outside your fucking comfort zone and do it.
Oh yeah, another shout out. When we did the Album of the Year show, Josh mentioned that Roscoe album, Ugly. Very Slim Calhoun, early Dungeon Family vibes. I mess with that album. Shout out. It's Roscoe Music Ugly. Shout out to that. Listen to it on Spotify. Pretty good album.
We gotta get King LJ on here too.
Yeah, gotta get LJ.
We gotta get LJ on here. But yeah, man, Birmingham's doing big things just per you. There's someone else I gotta get on here. I'll talk to that one off here. But I'll try to reach out to him and see because he's plugged in with a lot of shit in Birmingham, and I think the only problem with him is he might like critique our video setup because he's like actually a videographer.
Okay. Well.
He might like bring his old setup in and try to do this shit.
This is the humble beginnings.
Right.
We haven't even crossed episode 10, so when you see the big setup, just know that we started here.
Right. We doing big things and stuff. But yeah, till next time, we will holler at y'all. Again, kidsworkarounds.com, 2200trim.com. Log on, read up on your favorite nerdy, black, whatever we're doing stuff.
Tell a friend, man.
Buy a t-shirt too.
Buy a t-shirt.
I didn't wear one this week.
Yeah.
I'll have to wear the little baseball shirts.
Yeah, man. Because we got to fund.
When it gets warm.
That's a dope shirt. We got to fund the site somehow. I almost lost the entire site in the dice game, so that's the risk I'm out here taking. Hey, man, I doubled up though. But hey, for real, just support the site, man. Because this is coming out of our pockets, man.
Exactly.
So support the site.
We pay to do this shit.
Yeah.
And shout outs to the guys at Trim for continuing to allow us to do this here. Great guys who are doing some big things. And yeah, you never know who you'll see walk in here. But yeah, we're going to try to get some more guests in Birmingham that are doing big shit and try to get them in here just to talk shit with us because we have fun doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, till next time, we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Politics as usual.